Monster Hunter and Pokémon are two of my favorite franchises ever, so the Monster Hunter Stories series has always spoken to me. And after playing the first 2 chapters of Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin, it appears to be more of what I loved about the first, with a few tweaks intended to address some common criticisms. The jury is out on whether those changes make for a universally better experience, but it certainly left me excited to play more and find out. If you've never played Monster Hunter Stories, or Monster Hunter at all for that matter, don't worry, you really don't need to in order to dive headfirst into Wings of Ruin. The sequel's story stands on its own from what I've seen so far. On the mechanical side, knowing Monster Hunter inside and out did give me a leg up, but Monster Hunter Stories 2 teaches players everything they need to know to succeed. Like how using a flash bomb on an airborne monster brings it crashing to the ground. There's a lot to learn like in most creature collecting turn-based RPGs, but so far Wings of Ruin's tutorials are well-paced and unobtrusive. After customizing your character, Wings of Ruin sets the stage for a story that will span far beyond your charming tropical island home. You learn you're from a village of riders that befriend and raise the monsters of the land, called Monsties, once they become our besties. Soon, you bird up with a Kulu-Ya-Ku, meet the weird feline companion Naviru, and finish some early quests that serve as tutorials. From there, you set off to protect an egg rumored to hold a destructive Rathalos, and prove yourself worthy of a grand quest.
Let's go.
Monster Hunter Stories' excellent turn-based battles mainly revolve around a rock-paper-scissor type system, but Wings of Ruin improves and greatly expands on it. There are 3 types of weapon damage, 6 weapons that all work differently, and parts with different weaknesses to be broken off of large monsters. Changing weapons and switching out monsties on the fly is required for optimal strategy, making fights a rewardingly complex puzzle to solve. There's honestly just too much about the battle system to get into right now. Wings of Ruin opened up early on, letting me do as I pleased within the bounds of the first area as soon as I hatched that Kulu-Ya-Ku. Most importantly, that early freedom lets you experiment with the main mechanic that glues the whole game together: finding monster dens, collecting eggs, and hatching them. When you find an egg, it's not just the species of the monster that's a mystery, it's the excitement of what kind of genes and how many the monster will have. Genes are what make a monster unique with different passive and active abilities. In just the second chapter, not only is there a huge area to explore, but you also unlock the ability to transfer genes from one monstie to another via the rite of channeling, so hatching duplicate monsters isn't a waste. Wings of Ruin also gives you even more freedom than its predecessor by letting you move any gene from one monster to any unlocked slot in another. It also allows you to purchase gene slot unlocking items from the get-go. I really enjoyed how many possibilities and tasks there were to distract me from the main path right away, and a great fast travel option made it easy to wander. Rare dens always lured me in with the promise of something special. Plus, there are side quests, hard challenges, crafting, and more too that kept me constantly zipping from one task to another. But for how much I enjoyed my early hands-on with Wings of Ruin, the battles did start to wear on me somewhat, even with the ability to triple the animation speed. With the introduction of constant battle buddies, the additional party members you can't directly control, there can be up to 7 combatants from what I've seen so far. That's a lot of actions to get through each turn, and the opponent's HP pools appear to be greater to account for the additional pals. I'm still holding out hope though that the full game has a way to remove buddies from your party and for monsters' HP to adjust accordingly. After all, there's a lot of Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin I haven't seen yet. I've only just left the tutorial areas of Chapter 1 and 2 and started the main adventure, which probably could have been completed in much less time than the 15 hours I happily spent if I wasn't endlessly sidetracked by all of the fun things to do. For more on Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin, don't miss the extended deep dive into its gameplay. And for everything else, you're already in the right place. IGN.
This'll put you out of commission.